You might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my daughter out of your voice. You're just
the easy answer
tonight on Let It Rip.
Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first, or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
Sparks fly at the debate between the Republican presidential candidates, but does it really matter? Former President Trump wasn't there, but he's still the front runner for a rematch with President Biden. We're looking ahead 1 year to 2024. But first, the war in Israel showing no signs of letting up, and tensions are high around the globe. Here in the U.S., a congressional censure for Detroit Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib. And just today, a pro-Palestinian protest blocking a major freeway in rush hour. What will it take for a ceasefire? And is there any hope for long-term peace? We're taking up this important conversation starting now. Time now to Let It Rip with Rabbi Asher Lopatin, Executive Director of the Jewish Community Relations Council, AJC, and Imam Imran Salha of the Islamic Center of Detroit. Fox 2 anchor and attorney Charlie Langton here with us as well. Okay, so we know that we are sitting right here in Metro Detroit, which has such a rich history of having both Arab Americans and Jewish Americans who live in peace, we should mention, in our region. Yet we have this war that's raging on 6,000 miles away. But it feels like it's happening not that far away. We know that today we saw on the interstate so many people putting their own safety in danger to make a point. Imam, you said, yeah, we know it's dangerous, and we're aware of that, and that's why we're doing it. We want to say this is why this is so important. What did you hope will come out of something like that demonstration today?
It's not so much a hope, more as much as it is an acknowledgement of the fact that there's a genocide going on. And when a genocide is happening, people have real feelings. The executive director of the Islamic Cultural Association in Farmington Hills' nephew was killed on Friday. There are many family members here that are afraid of holding funeral services at the mosque because of the intimidation tactics against Muslims right now. And so these are real family members. And to be honest with you, it doesn't make those people more important because they have family members in America. There are 12,000 civilians that were murdered. Raz Segal, who's an Israeli genocide expert, said there is no indication whatsoever to say that there is an explicit interest in absolutely eradicating Palestinians off the face of the earth from the illegal Zionist regime.
So when you, Rabbi, when you hear this talk from the Imam talking about numbers, I mean, you were talking about thousands of Palestinians that were killed, 1.4 million displaced already. That's more than half of the people who live in that area of Gaza. When you see that, does your heart go out for the people of Gaza who are Palestinian?
Absolutely. For the innocent civilians of Gaza, my heart goes out. And that's why Israel is creating these corridors to enable people to get out of North Gaza, Gaza City,
and then
out of the zone. No, not bombing them.
And then bombing them on the Rafah crossing, and bombing trucks with water in them.
I want to say something.
Go ahead, Rabbi.
When the Jewish community, and we had a vigil on Tuesday night, and we had another vigil with 3,000 people before, we sing, we cry, we're calm, we're not yelling and screaming, even though Hamas, in a genocidal move, killed 14,000 of our brothers and sisters of civilians and raped them. And rape is
this is absolutely false.
Right
now, the Times of Israel today reported that there is no evidence of sexual assault today. Also, let me tell you how many times the lies happened. The supernova today there was an article. Today there was a. It's not about interrupting. You're accusing the accusation of rape. The accusation of rape.
I'm going to ask.
No problem. The accusation of rape was utilized to justify the massacre.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to ask for a pause.
Rape is false.
I'm going to go to Charlie for a second here, okay?
Yeah.
We have the President of the United States who basically says no, absolutely no ceasefire, but we will do these 4-hour pauses.
Absolutely.
And that was progress that happened today. I know that we're.
How is that progress?
We should be progress compared to.
Pause it like a video game and then resume bombing.
Is that a political move, or is that certainly going to make a difference in getting some people out?
Well, I think anything the President of the United States does, especially now here, is going to be a political move, arguably. But yeah, the pause is a good first thing. What it tells me, though, is that there is some communication between the parties involved. And I'm not, 4 hours, it's not enough, it's not practical, there are logistics. You need 4 days.
Are we really saying that after 12,000 people were murdered? No, I'm sorry, maybe you're not used to equal conversations. Are we really suggesting that a humanitarian pause is a legitimate response? Is a legitimate response to 12,000 people being killed? Hold on. Are we saying that after? No. The Times of Israel said it. The Times of Israel said it.
I want to hit a ceasefire in the talk here for a moment, and I'm going to demand it, and here's why, because the people at home can't understand two people talking over each other. So I want to take some turns here, okay?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to go to the rabbi, and I'm going to let him finish his point, and then you can make up your point.
I just want to say, as a responsible journalist, we should not be allowing any information that has not been vetted through basic journalistic process to be propagated. Because those lies, like Debbie Dingle spewed, the rape and the beheaded babies, that is why they are justifying the massacre. I won't allow for dehumanization of my people to occur, to make it about Hamas. You can keep pointing at me as much as you want, but this is the reality of the situation.
So I'm going to give the rabbi a chance to talk about this topic in a way that perhaps is productive and we don't get into some of the nuance. If you disagree, I'll ask politely that you hold your opinion until we're finished. Rabbi,
let him provide sources.
What's one moment, Imam? What is the end game? Two-state solution. That is what President Biden is saying. That's what the world is talking about. Is that something that's viable with something that has century-old vitriol packed in it? Is this something that's viable?
It is viable if the Palestinian people accept the existence of the Jewish state of Israel. Hamas in its charter does not accept that. When people say from the river to the sea, they are not accepting a Jewish state of Israel. But once the Palestinian people and the Oslo Accords, the PLO, began to accept that, once they accept that there can be a Jewish state there somewhere between the river and the sea, then absolutely we can live together. That's coexistence.
May I respond to this?
In one moment, I wanted to talk about the river to the sea point.
But before you move on, the Palestinian
the river to the sea comment that Rashida Tlaib made had her censured. Do you believe that that was an acceptable punishment for using comments and using that phrase?
Absolutely, totally irresponsible, and she's talking about aspirational, because from the river to the sea means ending the existence of the state of Israel and having just one Palestinian state from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, and that is wiping the Jewish state off the map. That is anti-Semitism, and that needs to be censored.
Should have Ms. Tlaib, Congresswoman Tlaib, perhaps said, you know what, maybe I shouldn't use that phrase because it's been adopted by Hamas, and I should have just said, look, I want the freedom of Palestinians.
Lovely.
Do you think that that's something that she should have said?
Excellent. I'm an academic, and I like to be very accurate with the information that I spread. Number one, Palestinian Liberation Organization has agreed to 1967 borders multiple times. Number two, go read the 2017 charter of Hamas themselves that you love to keep bringing up. They also wanted to agree to the 1967 borders. Go read it for yourself. And by the way, this was also stated by Catherine Bogan, who grew up in a Zionist family and is a Jew herself, and she is propagating excellently all of the information to clarify the true nature of the Palestinian narrative. Palestinians have always been willing to engage in peace, and every single time who wants to pull out at the last minute, Benjamin Netanyahu. This is number one. As for what you said, Rashida Tlaib is my hero, and I am proud of her. And just like she now has entered into the ranks of Joshua Giddings in 1842, who brought in anti-slavery resolutions and was censured, and now we look at him and we say we're proud of him. I am proud of what Rashida said, and I will say it myself, because it's not a Hamas slogan. That's also hasbara and propaganda. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, as it was prior to the entry of the Jews of the Zionist era, when we had Muslims, Jews, and Christians living in Palestine side by side. There was never any issue until the Zionist illegal regime entered into the picture and had a power trip and utilized that and displaced 750,000 Palestinians in 1948. That's history.
So river to the sea, I understand. That's not a Hamas slogan. That has been a piece of history.
In a PhD thesis by Dr. Ghada Sa'sa in McMaster University, it says that Israelis only use 8% of the land. There is room for everyone to come back. Not under the banner of the State of Israel. Not under the banner. Because you murdered. Because you occupied us for 75 years.
You cannot have it both ways.
Look, let me tell you why. You know, when we talk about the condemnation, when we when we talk about the condemnation, the reason why we don't fit into your sound bites is because they never were held accountable. Look how riled up he is. Because do you acknowledge? I'm not intimidating you. You genocide my people, and then that's why I'm done with the theatrics. I'm done with the theatrics of public civility, where you can orchestrate a genocide behind closed doors. Let me finish.
What are you hoping for? What is the end game?
I am hoping. God says in the Quran, certainly in the Gospels and in every scripture, we have decreed that the earth is for the inheritors of the earth are the righteous, the righteous Jews, Muslims, and Christians that have lived side by side before the creation of this illegal occupation. Yes, they were living well.
What about the
what about the 1948 Tontora massacre, where there are soldiers that are laughing? Go, please, watch the 1948 Tontora massacre, where IDF soldiers raped women and laughed about it.
And
go read about it.
Approved of that, where people approved of Hamas doing that raping. And if ever
that raping was not confirmed,
listen,
that
not confirmed.
You're saying it's not
confirmed. Beheaded babies not confirmed. Supernova Music Festival today, Israel said, "Oh, actually, we shelled that area."
You are denying everything.
Yes, Israel has a track record to lie.
We have to wrap this up.
You have lied for 75 years that Palestinians don't exist. Do you remember Khaled Turani? Do you remember Khaled Turani, who was a guest? The deed of his house says English, Hebrew, and Arabic.
One last opportunity.
Listen, let me say something. Absolutely.
Two-state solution. Possible?
I will tell you something.
Yes or no?
The problem with the West in academia, there's a concept called American exceptionalism, and you think that in order for a solution to occur, it has to occur by permission of the West. Let me tell you something. The French tried to occupy Algeria for 132 years. Were the Algerians successful in ousting the French based on Western approval?
I take that as a no.
So I will tell you. No, there is not under the state of Israel. They occupied us for 75 years.
Two Palestinian
I think this is going to be a difficult.
I think it is a difficult and a very long discussion.
750,000 people. Where are they now? They're all in the diaspora.
Rabbi, I want to thank you for your time today. Imam, thank you for your time today. I'm sorry that sometimes you just can't have the discussion without the two opposing sides not being able to
Zionism is terrorism. You cannot converse with terrorists.
I want to thank you for both for joining us today. On the other side of the break, the Israel-Hamas war will be no doubt a big topic in the 2024 election. And last night, Republican candidates took the debate stage once again without their frontrunner. We're looking ahead to the big vote. That's next. All right, back now on Let It Rip. Things, temperature still hot here. This is a hot topic as well. Obviously one that doesn't have the same amount of charge with the last topic, but one that certainly has people divided. The 2024 election, you know what? The latest presidential debate, a lot of people are talking about that. I'm joined now by Democratic insider and consultant Alexis Wiley, also Oakland University political science professor Dave Dulio, and former Republican State Representative Terrence Mikowski, Fox 2 anchor and attorney Charlie Langton here as well. We didn't hear a lot from you in the last segment, so
heard I the front row seat.
We will ask you to chime in with this one. Let's begin with this New York Times Siena College poll. Trump leading in 5 of the 6 key states, including Michigan, Nevada, Georgia, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and our state here as well. Alexis, is that discouraging for Democrats who are hoping for a Biden win?
No, I don't think it's necessarily discouraging, because I think there's still time, right? But I think we certainly cannot ignore it, right? I think that we need to really be leaning in and really thinking about the kind of campaigns that we run to make sure that we are really speaking to the needs of people. I believe that when people start really paying attention, President Biden has done an exceptional job on the economy. He's done great work. I think people are going to want to see him run an energetic campaign.
But 5 out of 6 key states, including Michigan, right now leaning a year out to Trump. This is after Joe Biden came out, the president did, picketing with the UAW, showing that, and the UAW ends up winning good contracts. You think that would benefit Biden even more and perhaps influence the polls?
I wonder if a lot of what we're seeing is less of a vote for Trump and more of people just kind of being despondent regardless, right? Like, basically they're saying, I'm going to throw away my vote because I don't feel good at all with anybody. I don't think a lot of them are going to just show up for Donald Trump.
So what do? You have the debate like you had yesterday with the candidates that were up there, and you have, the fight between Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley, jabbing at one another. And at the end of the day, some people are saying, hey, if I'm looking for an alternative to Trump, Did I find them on stage yesterday? Dave Dulio, what do you think Republicans who are moderate are thinking?
They are desperately searching for an alternative to the former president, and there's one on the stage, but the problem is that there were 5 of them last night, right, that are going to continue to splinter that anti-Trump Republican vote in those primaries and caucuses that are going to start in the new year. And for Republicans who don't want Trump to be the nominee, they have to rally behind one of those alternatives. And I think that they're just right now jockeying to see who that's going to be, if it's going to be Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, or one of the others.
Who did you think came out on top at the debate yesterday?
I think Nikki Haley probably, not that she won it, but I think given the attacks that came from Ramaswamy, I think that she exits that in a strong position.
Even having to call Ramaswamy scum for calling out her own daughter, a 25-year-old who uses TikTok. Terrence Mikowski, this election is interesting. Trump leading in 5 of the 6 key states here, but when you look at President Biden and his approval on how he handled this very controversial Israel-Gaza situation, he's polling well with both Republicans and Democrats when it comes to that war, and the UAW right here at home able to win record contracts. Many conservatives were saying these people are asking for too much, they won't get it. They got it. Isn't that a win for Biden?
No, absolutely not. Let's be realistic.
Why not?
President Trump is our nominee, plain and simple. The Republican Party is behind him. Look at, all you got to do is ask yourself, is your life better since President Biden took over? Going to war, our economy, our fuel, the ridiculous border crossings, the fentanyl, people dying in record numbers crossing the borders, human trafficking. President Trump did everything he said he was going to do. President Trump, in my lifetime, is the best president I've ever seen, even being attacked all 4 years of his presidency. President Trump, 2024, that's what America needs.
But wasn't Biden handed a tall order post-pandemic with all of that had to be done, the spending that he says needed to be done in order to secure the country and get it back?
If you look at everything that Biden has done since he's been in office, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Come on, with what he's done with the wars, with the fuel economy.
But the UAW wasn't a win for you, even though he marched and he fought with those workers to ask for fair wages.
Those workers, I happen to do some work with one of the big 3s, and none of those workers are supporting Biden anymore. I'm a former Democrat. I came up in the city of Detroit. I'm a Republican
none of those
now.
Workers?
None that I know that I talk to are supporting Biden.
After Sean Fain goes back, and Charlie, this is an interesting one, the whole electric car politicalization of electric cars, they said all these UAW workers, for a moment, were saying, wait a minute, Mr. Biden, we don't want these electric cars. We're going to be out of a job. And then they signed something with General Motors that essentially says, hey, you know what? We'll include electric car battery plants in this. Didn't that help President Biden?
Of course it did. I think President Biden absolutely. What's the biggest story that you've covered in the last, the top 2 or 3 biggest stories that you've covered in the last couple of months? The UAW.
Yeah.
Everyone knows some guy named Sean Fain. Yeah. And if Sean Fain and President Biden are together, that's good for the Democrats. The other thing, too, what Democrat is going to vote for Donald Trump? It's never going to happen. And Dave Dulio teaches in his class.
I think you're going to be surprised.
No,
I really do.
Politics.
I really do.
You got roughly the country is about 40% Republican, 40% Democrat. You've got the 20% in the middle.
But they're about their pocketbooks.
They're
about their money.
Alexis, what if there's a moderate Democrat out there who says, you know what, am I better off than I was 4 years ago? And what if they answer to themselves, no, I'm not.
Absolutely not.
And maybe I need to go back to a person who I trusted then. Do you think there are those Democrats who will say, you know what, I'll look at Trump?
You're saying look at Trump? No.
No?
I mean,
not at all.
Think about, he's under indictment for a bunch of things. He could go to
innocent
jail.
Until proven guilty.
How can I vote for somebody who is, it just doesn't, the math.
It's not a witch hunt?
The math does not make sense to me.
Total witch hunt.
None of it's a witch hunt?
The math does not make sense to me. At the end of the day, I really think that President Biden will be just fine. He'll come through this. I think that we're going to end up supporting him.
Dave,
that might be the case, right? We're, as you said, a long way away from, and there's a lot of work to do on the Biden campaign agenda. But the alarm bells have to be going off in the White House now with the polling that you mentioned from before. I think that there are Democrats who will look at, not saying we'll vote for, but we'll give it a shot, or give Trump consideration. I think the other thing to think about is, and there was news on this today, Joe Manchin is not going to run for re-election in the Senate from West Virginia. There's a lot of smoke around him launching a third-party bid for the White House, whether or not
third-party candidate has ever won, ever.
Totally agree.
Never.
Totally agree.
But
they can take away votes.
Let's be realistic.
They can take away votes.
Joe Biden is not going to be the nominee for the Democratic
There's a lot of good issues in this campaign.
I bet you on that.
I bet you on that one.
The economy is a very good issue in this campaign. I have to admit, a lot of problems. Interest rates are high, gas price, etc. We know all the problems. The problem that I see there is that you need someone from the Republican Party to carry that message. And if it's Donald Trump, it's not going to be believed, because Donald Trump will make it about Donald Trump.
I got to talk to you about this.
Who better more than an outsider in Donald Trump, who is not a politician, who was a former Democrat, who is now a Republican, who has fought the system.
We got to ask the question about damaged goods. We got to ask the question. You're saying obviously innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely.
We know that.
Absolutely.
However, we're looking at all of the document scandals with the stuff that he had kept allegedly inside of his Mar-a-Lago home.
And no other president has done that, right?
But here's the deal.
From Clinton to Biden,
but the other presidents returned the materials that they were asked to return. And this former president, basically, after 3 or 4 attempts, finally gave up some of the stuff until they had to raid the place. Many people say he did that for theatrics. Is he ready mentally? And after all of these court trials and all these issues, to be the sound leader that he was, that you think he was in 2016.
Absolutely, and with everything going around, not only in America, look around the world what's going on. And if we don't think that the world was a much safer place with Donald Trump, our alpha male, in charge of our country, and the superpower and the stability that we had, everybody prior to Trump being elected, they didn't trust him with the nuclear. He's the only president in 4 years that didn't have a conflict, didn't have a war, saved lives.
What can this former president do to get those who left him to come back?
They got to realize that the people that they're listening to are the establishment people who never gave Trump a chance.
What does Trump have to do? Not what do the voters?
Trump has to keep doing what he's doing, because Trump
to win back those voters.
I say keep doing what you're doing. I had the pleasure and the honor to not only do his security, but his whole family's security. They are a solid family. They are a God-fearing family, and they worry about our country first and foremost.
You don't think there's anything he can do to try to win over some of these on-the-fence?
Well, I would hope he would be able to address it, but with this witch hunt and everybody trying to come at him with every legal issue in the world, come on, I'm from the city. People realize when you're being persecuted, and the blacks, the Hispanics, people that are in low class have been subject to that, and they're identifying with Trump now because he's being persecuted.
Alexis Wiley?
I take such deep offense to that even comparison. It's not even really worth addressing. The bottom line of it is that Donald Trump is spending a lot of time in court. He's going to focus on court. He's not going to have time to campaign. He's not going to have time to be out here.
He can multitask.
Bottom line is, I think that we as Americans are better than that. I think we are better than re-electing Donald Trump.
Are we better though? Are we better than having two people, one who's 80 and the other who's in his mid to late 70s, as being our only two guys who we're voting for? Are we better than that as a country?
I think that at the end of the day, we're going to look at the track record. And I think that when you really look at what's happening with the economy, you look at the jobs that are being created, you look at when Sean Fain comes out and says, I'm with Joe Biden and he helped, think about all those workers that are going to fall in line and say, if Sean's with him, we're going to
Does America deserve better than the two candidates we've already seen?
That's not my judgment to make, but America desperately wants something other than a Trump-Biden rematch. The polling on this has been clear for months and months that America would much rather have some fresh new faces to choose from, and we're not going to give it to them, right? The system is going to produce, in all likelihood, Trump's going to be the nominee.
Absolutely.
And Biden's going to be the nominee. I agree with you, Charlie, about the third-party candidate. Not ever went, but the appetite for a third-party candidate has never been higher in the United States.
I absolutely agree with that.
And we know what Ross Perot did for Bill Clinton.
Absolutely.
Back in the 90s to help elect him into office by being a third-party viable candidate. It's an interesting topic, one that we'll get final thoughts on in just a moment here. And Charlie is taking the show on the road.
the most important issue in this upcoming presidential election?
Definitely the war.
The health costs, the econ, the cost of living.
Do you think the UAW, the unions, are going to be a big part of this election coming up for president?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Do you think the president can help you with your strike?
Oh yeah, if you get active, yeah, for sure.
Well, the president runs the country, so I think he can help us out a little bit. Yeah, he's strong. He can do it.
Do you think the president of the United States can help your strike?
No. You want my honest opinion? No, I don't.
You looking forward to next year's election?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely they're gonna get my vote. Whoever talking good, they're gonna get my vote. Look at all the people that's been going on strike. A lot of people are paying attention to what's going on, not just here in Michigan. We're affecting everybody all around the United States. They're starting to pay attention. So yes, they better come see the unions. They better come see what's going on.
Terrence Mikowski, what does former President Trump have to do to win over more voters?
He's got to do what he's doing. The Democrats made a big mistake by persecuting him the way he is. When the trial comes out and the people see what is being done to him, all we got to do, like I say, look at his record,
Terrence,
look at what he's done.
Thank you for your time today, as always. Dave Doolio, prediction.
I'll go out on a limb here for Let It Rip and say that one of the two major party candidates, Trump or Biden, does not run in the general election.
Wow. Right. Alexis Wiley.
I think that President Biden's going to have to run a very energetic campaign to really make sure that people understand the record and what he's done to make life better.
Charlie, prediction?
Biden, Trump for sure, and I think the Democrats want to run against Donald Trump because they think they can beat him.
Well, we wish for peace and decorum through all of this, of course. We thank our panel for joining us today here on Let It Rip. That does it for this edition.